Generally, people will think of humans as being about truth first, and then maybe goodness second, ethics, like how do you behave in the world? And then finally, if you get to it, we'll think about beauty. And I go, actually, no, I think we start with beauty. The purpose of the research project I'm a part of is, at the end of the day, to see if there is any evidence at all for whether art connects to us as spiritual creatures. Does art actually reframe or change the way that we understand spiritual realities? And the empirical side of the project is to say, is there any observable evidence to suggest that that's the case? Well, we're designing an experiment to kind of ask the question of, with all these people that come out of a experience with art, in front of a piece of art, and they describe it as spiritual or transcendent or even religious, one of the questions we wanted to ask is, do the actual formal properties of the piece of art matter? One way we might test that is create our own set of artistic images, have people look at those, but then also, if you're running an experiment and designing it, you need to have something to compare it to. And so we said, what if we took those well-made photos and made them worse? And the way we made them worse was really just cropping them in ways that made them less aesthetically pleasing. We took a group of people through the good photos, a group of people through the bad photos of the same version, and then another group of people through a whole nother set of just random object photos. After experiencing each of those sets of photos, then we measured people's sort of psychological states in terms of how they felt about transcendence, about spirituality, about God concepts, and compared those groups to each other to see if those different forms of art would affect different kinds of psychological outputs. What we're measuring is the psychosocial spiritual effects of aesthetic experiences. How you think conceptually or propositionally about God or the gods, your sort of intuitions or instincts about transcendence, and then finally a number of effects that are more sensory and emotional. There's a whole category of emotions called self-transcendent emotions. These are psychological domains that we can measure through different psychometric instruments. All of those are measurements of the psychological effects of going in and seeing and encountering a piece of art. What you have to capture is their imagination, capture their affect, that sort of pre-critical awareness of the world that really is the realm of the beautiful that art traffics in. And if you can capture them there, then you're able to employ art in ways that lead to, I think, some really constructive ways of thinking about the world, of being in the world, and hopefully in the long run, addressing some of the most pressing crises of our day.